Okay, we on?
We on.
Alright, my nigga, we on. Before he could get into his groove, Elijah was interrupted by notorious thugs playing at maximum volume from his cell phone on the nightstand. He reached for the silver LG Phoenix and slid the green lock meant for answering the phone. As soon as he put it to his ear, the voice on the other end spoke rapidly. Elijah listened for a few seconds before speaking. Grime, slow down. Now, calmly tell me what's going on. A female voice, now calm, spoke. Quentin? What's wrong, Grime? Elijah asked. His face contorted into an expression of concern at the sound of his middle name. I'm tired of him. I want him at my house now. About time. What did Stacy do now? He asked, his voice failing to contain his anger at mentioning his older ex-convict cousin. I'm just sick of him. I simply asked him why the trash from this morning was still sitting on the porch and say no more, Crime. I'm on the way. The martial artist hung up his phone and set it back on the nightstand. He turned to Vita, who was looking up at him with worried eyes. Dominus, is everything okay? Not really, Elijah replied, getting out of bed. Off to go take care of some family issues. I'll be back and we will continue what was to be intimate. Ops an interruption. Yes, Dominus. Elijah merely nodded as he opened the drawer from across the bed. Inside was a starched black pair of Dickie pants and a matching work shirt. He got dressed, grabbed his car keys and phone off the nightstand, and headed out the bedroom and down the stairs to the front door where he retrieved his black steel-toe boots and pulled off the socks to put on before putting on the boots themselves. He grabbed the black baseball cap from the hat rack next to the door and put it on his head before opening the door and stepping out. He headed toward the blood-red 1966 Chevrolet Impala SS convertible in the driveway, opening the driver's side door and closing it. Man, you know what? Skip all that. Let me just get to the good stuff, man. Cause I'm like, that shit boring.
Get to the fight. Get to the fight. Get to the fight.
You want me to get to the fight?
Let's get to the fight.
All right, nigga.
Y'all want to get to the fight? We're gonna get to the fight.
3-word chant.
Fight. Elijah didn't have to wait too long as he saw a toffee-skinned man wearing a brown sweatsuit with facial hair covering the whole of his lower face and black dreadlocks that seemed to cover his almond-colored eyes. He watched the older man go up the steps and through the front door into the house. Not even 5 seconds had gone by before he could hear Trevor's voice following Stacy's, the tone angry and directed at his other nephew. Now what the hell you doing here? I told you too many times about talking to my sister like that. Elijah heard Trevor roar. Man, you need to calm that shit down. Stacy snapped back. I don't care about you swelling up. You gon' care if I go upside your motherfucking head, old puss-ass nigga. You ain't gonna talk to my sister like that. I'm tired of you disrespecting my mama just cause she don't like something you doing in her house. And let's go outside. I'm not gonna disrespect my grandmother's house for fucking irony. Elijah rolled his eyes as he heard Mardella trying to cease the conflict. Getting out the car and heading back up to the front porch into the house, slipping on the gloves. And it'll be the last time you fucking do after I paste you. Stacy turned around, seeing an angry Elijah before him. I've got this, Trevor, Elijah said to his uncle. I don't live here anymore, but this is still my house. I'm tired of hearing about this mug strutting around like some hard man. What's up with everyone around here trying to get bad? Stacy sneered. Elijah, you might as well go on home, because you ain't scaring nobody with all that motherfucking Jackie Chan shit. Sensing the challenge, Stacy approached his cousin, but before he could make a move, Elijah forced him back a couple of steps with the heel of his right palm thrust at his chin. Stacy advanced again, coming over the top with his right hand. Elijah's hands went up immediately, his left gripping Stacy's inner right bicep to negate the punch. Since he was confronted with a solo attacker, Elijah knew his strategy, but needed more space in order to execute it. He slipped his left hand to the outside of Stacy's bicep, pinning his upper arm to his own body as he threw his right hand in an upward arc and landed another palm strike flush to Stacy's chin. He circled to his left on his right leg, giving the ex-con a rough shove through the door and off the front porch. Though he could hear the screams from Ella and Graham Bella for the pair to cease their melee, Elijah ignored him. He stepped outside as Trevor placed a hand on his shoulder. That's enough. Elijah pulled away, stepping off the porch. In his mind, it wouldn't be enough until he thoroughly drilled the lesson he intended for Stacy to learn. The tomb. Stacy got to his feet, and as he stood up, he launched a left uppercut aimed for the body. Elijah took the blow, absorbing the shock on his right bicep and throwing his shoulder forward to send his cousin back a few steps into the grass. He responded in kind, stepping diagonally to his right and throwing a powder steel lace left straight punch down the middle. It touched Stacy's left temple and transferred the kinetic energy needed to rock. Stacy came back, swinging for the fences with a right haymaker that missed as Elijah threw his hips behind him and spun, his left fist colliding with his chin and dropped him into the bushes. Satisfied that the risky spinning back fist had done his job, he picked up his hat that had gotten removed in the fray. After a few minutes, Stacy staggered to his feet with rage in his eyes. Kill that motherfucker. As Elijah was heading to his car, Stacy rushed in and tackled Elijah down from behind. Luckily, Elijah had the good sense to break his fall on the concrete with an outstretched glove, hand slapping the ground. He recovered, adjusting himself to sit up slightly and quickly take hold of Stacy's right arm at the wrist as he prepared to throw a punch. Securing his left calf along his face and the right on his ribs, Elijah twisted his body to the right until his head was next to Stacy's inner right leg. Following through with his arm lock, Elijah kept hold of the arm with his left hand and hooked his right arm around Stacy's leg. He used his legs to push Stacy onto his back while clearing said leg. From there, Elijah held Stacy's straightened arm close to himself, leaning backwards and raising his hips, allowing his legs to touch the ground on the other side of his cousin while applying tremendous pressure to the elbow. Trevor rushed off the porch and over to Elijah and Stacy, trying to get his younger nephew to release his hold before he broke the man's arm. Get this nigga off me, Stacy screamed, struggling to get his arm out of Elijah's painful locks into a field. Elijah raised his hips even more in response, feeling Stacy's elbow hyperextend even more until it was on the verge of breaking under the leverage it was subjected to. But before he could completely break the arm at the elbow, two pairs of hands managed to pry his grip apart on the arm bar and pull him up to his feet. That's it. It's over. That's enough, yelled Trevor.
Damn. You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Dude, you are one of the most technically just good action writers. Just your technique. God damn.
Technique.
And it's even better in writing. Now, of course, I read the shit and I reviewed the shit, so naturally I'm biased.
Right.
You know, it's good, but didn't you write it? Never mind the fact that I wrote all the review for it.
Did anyone else catch the part where he was all like cleaning his upper bite?
Yeah. No, but the technique that he uses and how he sets up the fight scenes, that's the reason why I kick it with this fool. That's why I give him the accolades that I do.
Well, were you born with the technique or did you have to adapt to it?
Well, I had to learn it. I had to learn it, man. Like judo is mostly physics.
Well, hell, most wrestling is, but I don't want to get into that.
And wrestling.
I come from the wrestling background. You got the judoka, so you know. That's where we caramel. It's cool.
Still working on my striking.
But you know, that's actually what I find interesting is that, you know, if you come from a mixed martial arts background, then then most of them fools are gonna be trying to do both ground and pound as well as, you know, the grapple game and the strike game to try to get all three. But if you come from like a purist view from one or the other, I don't know, man. Like you're constantly having to try and find that balance in yourself, that aufgeben almost, that you know, two conflicting ideals to find a higher ideal, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Now, in my case, I was lucky in that, you know, I started off Taekwondo as well BDS, Black Dragon School Taekwondo, as well as wrestling, just pure breed Greco-Roman style wrestling. But then, you know, MMA came out, and UFC suddenly turned into the WWE. Shit got bad. It's true. You can't even tell me otherwise. Oh shit! Time to end this recording and start up a new one.